What's next? I want to discuss how you find your perfect place, your peaceful place. How do you find your spiritual gifts? All that kind of good stuff. The stuff that, everyone is searching for. And, how to meditate, how to achieve all this great stuff. And unfortunately, the bad news, it's all inside of you. The good news is you have all the tools within you. And it's going to be fragmented. I'm going to do a better job in the future. But the idea is I have to make something because I hear so many people looking for a guru, looking for someone to give them the steps on how to meditate, how to find their perfect life, how to get peace into their life, how to get rid of the negative entities in their life. And simply stated, the negative entities, the demons, the ghosts, the spirits that cause the most trouble, the ones that everyone knows about, feed off of fear. When you have fear, you feed them, and the more fear you give them, the stronger they get. And they want more fear, so they're going to keep ramping things up. And that's why demons can get so strong, is because they start feeding off of those who have the right mindset. On the other hand, once you find a way of sending love to them, pure, unconditional love, loving energy, it really knocks them off their game and it starves them. So, the first step is you have to find a place where you can be comfortable, where you feel totally secure. It can be in your home, behind 2 locked doors. It can be out in the woods where no one can get you. It can be anywhere. An example for me is if I need to get a really good meditation, I use the sound of a thunderstorm. And for most people, the sound of a thunderstorm is frightening. Hell, if I'm in a thunderstorm, it's frightening, the lightning and stuff. But the sound of a thunderstorm is symbolic for me because no one's going to come out in a thunderstorm. So in my imagery, I'm in a shed that's like, made of concrete. So I play the thunderstorm. It also helps cover up some of the sounds of my house, my wife, my kid, my animals. It kind of covers up any environmental sounds. So I play the thunderstorm and I can get in my perfect state. And you can go anywhere. You can use anything. You can use a physical place where you feel safe in your home. You could go in the woods somewhere and feel safe. Just sit quietly. You just have to find a place. Second, when you have be able to imagery, if you be able to have this strong enough imagination, is you think of the place. You create it in your head. One of the places I created was, it was basically part of a mountain. It was like halfway up the mountain, overlooking a beautiful village, with a nice pool of water and a stream coming in, a stream coming out. Had everything I wanted, and that was my imagery of a nice, safe, calm, relaxing place where entities could come to me in their own, whatever form that they want to come, and they could talk with me. It's a safe place where, I guess my imagery was like early fall where the leaves were just starting to change and they're really colorful. And there was a lot of different imagery, colorful leaves. I'm from New England, so colorful leaves are part of the deal. Pine trees, some of the trees had like maple, some of the maple trees were being tapped, so there was maple syrup dripping around. It was all imagery. You add a bunch of the images around that make you more feel comfortable. That the things that you love. I love maple syrup. I love pine trees. I love the colorful leaves. I love New England. I love the mountains. I love the beach, and then overseeing the beach. A lot of imagery. You create a lot of imagery. Once you're able to do that, you move forward, and you have your own personal declarations. The personal thing where you say that I am powerful, I am enlightened, I am unlimited. You just have a bunch of things where I can tell you what you can write, but you really have to sit down and write your own. And for me, I have a personal one where I developed it along with Arway and Steiger. Arway and Steiger group made a daily prayer about favor. Favor walks with me as I come in, favor walks with me as I go out. Favor heals my body as I speak favor into my body. Favor heals my eyes that I see clearly. Favor heals my ears that I hear clearly. Favor heals my mind that I think clearly. Favor heals my body into ideal, youthful perfection. Favor preserves all my material property to last longer and work as new. That kind of thing. I have a whole thing, it's like 20 lines. But I wrote it myself, and then I say parts of it every day because I list it off the top of my head, because you don't want to be reading it. You want to be feeling it. You want to make it part of you. So these prayers that they tell you to read or recite, it gives power to the one who created it. It gives power to the one who is like the intermediary. A lot of these prayers are actually not to God directly, but to an intermediary to Him. I'm not going to go too far into that, but you have to have your own personal experience with the Almighty. The personal experience with Source, your personal experience with God, your personal experience with nature. So as long as you do that, you're golden. Another one I do is my protection, which I usually do first, but because I'm doing it off the top of my head, I'm forgetting everything. But this is probably the most important part. We imagine, because you're developing your be able to imagine things, source light coming down from heaven, coming down slowly to the top of your head, through the top of your head to your throat, through your heart center, through your midsection, through your pelvic area, through your legs, down through your feet, down to the center of the earth. And then, secondarily, you imagine the grounding energy of Mother Earth coming up from the earth through your feet, up through your legs, through your hips, pelvic region, through your stomach, through your heart center, through your throat, through your head, up to Source. So now you are a perfect conduit between Source energy, heaven, God, to the grounding energy of Mother Earth. So your experience, because we as humans are both psychic, spiritual energy and physical, animalistic energy. And we're a perfect example of both. So now you're the perfect conduit of both. Now you imagine you send a bubble of energy around you in all directions. I choose 3 meters or 10 feet. It just resonates with me, that number. So I have 3 meters from my heart center in all directions. I form a bubble of protection, and I fill it with Source energy, and I fill it with the grounding energy of Mother Earth. And then I am protected from everything. I am protected. Only goodness, only positive, only light can come to me. All else is projected away from me. And I bring protection, love, and peace to everyone that I am near. And, this is just a good start. But if you can bring peace everywhere you go, if you can bring solitude and happiness and love everywhere you go, it reduces the negativity. Negativity will still try to get to you, but it has less power. The more you practice, the better you are at it, the more positive things will manifest. And if you want to manifest money or a new job or love of your life, you start with the small and you build up your confidence. The reason why manifestation doesn't work is because you don't believe in yourself enough. So you build which is possible, and then you build it to a little bit that might be almost impossible. Let me give you an example. You say that I want to find a quarter today. Well, someone's going to drop a quarter at some point, and you're going to see it, and you're going to pick it up. You manifested that quarter. Now he says, I want to manifest that within this week, $100, no more, no less, will come to me. And at some point, $100 will present itself to you, because it's a weird number and it's almost impossible to exactly $100, but it will happen. Because as long as you mostly believe. Now, you have to have like a 95 to 100% belief that you can do it. But there still can be a little teeny bit of doubt, and it still be possible for manifestation to work. But you have to have a strong enough belief that it's almost possible. It's like plausible and almost possible. And once you get your faith in yourself, you can manifest bigger and better things. And that's just how life works, because God, source, whatever you want to call it, it's not exactly, I mean, the religions have it manifest itself as a physical being, as a human-like. But God created us in His image. And images are imperfect. Like the image we have in the mirror is not quite us. It's almost us. So God is not exactly a 3D, physical, human-like being. He's more of a spiritual being, and that's what we are. We're a spiritual being, and we're just kind of put into this meat suit. So if you imagine God as being a man or a woman or whatever, it's not quite that. It's more of a spiritual relationship. It's a powerful mindset. And we're all an aspect of God. And the only problems we're going to come upon is when we put ourselves between God and someone else. Because someone basically puts someone between us and God, like a priest or like a guru or like I don't know, mostly just a religious figure, because a religious figure is grabbing part of that power. It's like when you donate to a charity. You don't know how much that charity is going to keep, how much it's going to give to the poor. Same idea with when you go to religious people. A lot of times they take a lot of that energy for themselves, and they take it and they're not at all generous. They're very selfish. So you have to take your own energy for a personal relationship with God, find your peace, and manifest everything you could possibly want. The fear, the anguish, the negativity, that's not yours. That was put on you by someone else to control you. So now you can slowly drop it off piece by piece, increase your positive energy. The more you increase your positive energy and the more you increase your love factor, the more you are, more your perfect, energetic, loving soul, the less power you give to all the negativity around you. And that negativity can be in the form of a priest, a guru, or even, unfortunately, a loved one. But I'm here to try to get you the positive. Try to focus on the positive, and hopefully I can do a better job at this in the future. If you like this, comment. If you hated it, rip me apart. I need to learn. Without any negative reinforcement, without any constructive criticism, I'll never learn. But what's next?